You want to make training a want to, not have to? I want to help you out. I want to help you do that, because guess what? This is not about speaking. This is not about training. It's not about facilitating. It's not even about performing. What is it about? Ultimately, it's about the opposite. It's about not speaking. That is why we make a difference. That is how we inspire. That is how we build a relationship. That is how we have rapport, trust, credibility. It's not about speaking and training and performing and facilitating and learning and educating. So I like to say focus on not speaking. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So let's start. 4 pieces of not speaking is your movement, your eyes, your voice, and your tech. So let's start right off the bat with your movement. Stand ready for anything. That is with your feet shoulder width apart, with the balls of your feet. That's where you put your energy, right? Where you, with your knees a little bent, so you're ready to move, you're ready to bounce, you're ready to go. Push your shoulders back, pick your head up. Breathe in, breathe out. Put your arms to your side and get really comfortable with this ready for anything stance. Exaggerate your gestures, because people in the back of the room, they need to see it, they need to feel it. How do you get them to feel it? This isn't big, this is big. When it's bigger than people can even see, it's taller than the screen. Look at how tall it is, it's all the way up there. And then look at it to show them that it's huge. Exaggerate those gestures so people can feel what you're sharing with your body. Choreograph your actions. Know where you're going to stand. Know where the best place in the room is to present. I always like to say stand to the left of your projection, simply because people read left to right, right? And then lastly, activate the stage. Use the space that you have in that stage. You saw the way I popped into the video. Didn't even plan on connecting it to this, but activate the stage, activate your space, use it to your advantage. But move like you move. Please don't mimic and model other people unless it's comfortable for you. Because if it's not comfortable for you, guess what? It ain't gonna look comfortable. Other people are gonna see it too. All right? So that's a kind of a quick review recap on your movement. Next, let's focus on your eyes. Present to the audience, lock in for 5 seconds, don't spill the shots, and start here and there. So present to the audience, not to your slides. I mean, look, you're looking at the back of my head right now. That's not cool, that's not appropriate. I mean, I might have a very nice, pretty head, but that's not what you want to see. So present to the audience, present to the people in there, the participants. And we call them participants. I would prefer actually that we call them participants, not audience, because the audience is there just to be there, but participants actually participate, right? Lock in for 5 seconds, connect with people in that room for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's going to feel awkward, so you're going to start counting faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And you're going to naturally do that. So I say count to 5, but I know that you're probably going to cut out at 2 or 3 seconds, which is fine. The point is, when you make eye contact with people, you make a connection. Don't spill the shots. If you really want to look confident, you really want to look strong as a presenter, don't spill the shots. And what I'm saying is, as you pour, pick up the glass. Pour, pick up, pour, pick up, pour, pick up. So as you speak to one person, connect with them for a few seconds, and then stop speaking and connect with somebody else. Share a couple words and phrases, and then stop speaking to them. Find another spot in the room, connect with somebody else. Share a few thoughts, and then find somebody else and connect with that person. And it looks really good. And then lastly is start here and there. If somebody asks you a question, guess what? Sometimes you can go down a rabbit hole, right? So the easiest way to avoid getting into a one-on-one dialogue with that person is when they ask you a question, start answering it with that person. And then when you want to finish the answer, go to somebody else and say, thanks. Any other questions? And now you've taken your focus off of that person, and they know, okay, we're done here. At least they should connect that. But don't ignore the unfriendly eyes. Not everybody is so caught on to what you're doing here. So you got to connect with people. Next, your voice. Project at volume 8. Animate your lips. Animate your words. Move your lips and pause. Don't Most of these speak for themselves. If 10 is yelling at the top of your lungs, project at a volume 8. Some people are hard of hearing. Some people are hard of hearing and they don't want to admit it. I know some people like that. And some people, they're deaf. You might have somebody who's deaf. You might have somebody who isn't hard of hearing but actually cannot hear, and they need to read your lips. That's why you've got to animate your words and move your lips as well. But make sure that you project so that people can hear you, regardless of what's going on in that room. If there's trains and buses and trucks and airplanes and helicopters outside, or if there's a loud fan or air conditioning unit in the room, make sure people can hear you. Animate your words. Use your voice to go faster and slower, and speed up and slow down when necessary. Don't make it monotonous. You knew that already, but this is a good reminder. Pause. Move. See, I'm not a reader. Move your lips. If you don't move your lips, if you don't move your teeth, you're going to mumble. It's going to sound like this, and it's not going to be very good. And it's not. You can't even project your voice if you're not. I mean, I can get a little bit louder, but doesn't it look weird and creepy? It does. Lastly, pause. Don't If you don't know what to say, you want to sound smart, pause. Learning happens in the silence. Learning happens in the silence. Give people that pause. But speak like you speak. Speak like you speak. Don't speak like somebody else speaks. Speak like you speak. Lastly, technology. Slides are visual aids. Clear the slide, transition like a story, and debrief everything. If you are going to use your slides, don't rely on them. They're visual aids. They're not for you. They are for the audience, the participants. Clear the slides. When you put something up here, just as I did, go through everything that's on the slide and then come back to your audience. If you know the slide, even better. You can kind of read through it without showing them. So I could basically say, slides are visual aids, clear the slide, transition like a story, and debrief everything. And I don't have to actually look at the slide because I know what's there, because it's a visual aid. It's not for me, it's for them. So clear the slide, go through it, transition like a story. Don't go from one section to another or one slide to another without connecting the dots. Great comedians will go from one story to another without you even knowing that they change topics. And then debrief everything. Just let people know what's going on. Let people know you're at the end. But don't let the slide lead you. Know what's coming next. All right? As we wrap up, I want to give you a great way, to, kind of an action strategy, if you will, to go through and prepare for your trainings, your education, your facilitation, whatever you might call it. Start by learning your script. Know what you're going to say. You might write down that script, you might not, but know what you're going to say. Then know your transitions. Know how you're going to move from one part to the next part. Then your debriefs. How does it all end? So basically you're going to start with all these words. And then the slide animations. What does the slide actually look like? Forget what you do with the slide, because if you don't know the script, it doesn't matter. And then the music and video, if you're going to incorporate any of that. And then the vocal animation. And then your eyes and your gestures. What are you going to do with your eyes and how you use your arms? And then lastly is your choreography. Where are you going to be? How are you going to activate that stage? And I've got to remind you that the experience is great. It's not great because of you. It's great not because of you, it's great because of the relationship that you have with your participants. I keep wanting to say audience, but let's get away from that. Right? Lastly, know how to go on if the power goes off. All this technology is great, but if you don't know how to go on when the technology shuts off, well then we are out of luck. All right? Thanks so much for joining me for this episode of Make Training a Want To, Not Have To. See you next time.